Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Malt Magic Campaign 2. Oh, there's some loud music in my ears there, which we'll sort out in just a second. Anyway, where were we? Yes, back. Campaign 2. What an episode last week. What antics last week as well on stream. Thank you so much again for all the donations, the gift subs, and everything else that happened last week. It was chaotic, but we loved it. I'm not going to waffle on too much because I want to get straight into tonight's episode. We have got a lot to get on with as we go from here. So yes, previously on Malt and Magic, deep within the elemental chaos, which is the intermingling of the elemental planes, the party reached the Crucible of First Motion, and there the final piece of the Codex was within reach, the Elemental Seal. But that prize was not unguarded, for this mass of elemental fury rose. Ithkaran, the world's terror, this contradiction of lightning, magma and ice, chained to 4 cracked pylons within the Crucible itself. As initiative was rolled, the party realised the brute force of this god-sized mistake. Jewel being was very nearly lost to the elemental void after a bone-shattering strike from this titan, only to be saved by Aegis's telekinesis. But through raw determination and a little bit of shadow insight from our favourite shadow sorcerer / bard, a plan formed. They didn't need to just fight, they had to stabilise the prison itself. So Suri hauled himself up a frozen pylon, locking ice segments into place. Lex channeled violent surges of lightning to mend a second pillar. Jewel used her ingenuity and dexterity to bend the earth pylon to her will, alongside Takami, who sacrificed her astral power to force the earth pylon into bloom, and Aegius fired a final critical ember to ignite the fire pillar even. So as the gems on the seal glowed with a blinding violent light, Ithkaran vanished, and the Crucible began to disintegrate into the haze. Suri slammed his arms into the braces, claiming the elemental seal and wrapping the party in a pocket of sanctuary. As the world broke apart around them, the final piece is now no longer lost, and something ancient has felt its turn. My usual warnings, as always, do apply to this episode and all episodes. We are an adult stream, so expect a lot of adult language and a lot of adult humour. Full content warnings will be available when this episode goes to VOD and podcast. You have been warned. Let's roll. Hello!
Hi.
How are we all doing? Yes, to answer some questions in the chat there. Data, you won! You won! The Dagheart corset will be on its way to you very shortly when I drag my ass to the post office and get it posted. But rest assured, that will be on its way to you very, very soon. So congratulations once again. Thank you for joining us tonight. You missed a doozy last week. So if you don't get a chance to catch up like this week, make sure you do so soon. Cool. Let's run down a lineup and yeah, we'll figure out what the fuck we're doing next. So I am Matt. I'm your dungeon master for this and most evenings when we play campaign 2. Well, in fact, all evenings we play campaign 2, but some other evenings when we do other shit as well. I also will be role-playing the psychic character of Takami, getting my words in some sort of semblance of order, and hopefully my brain will follow.
Hello, I am Dave, and I am playing Jewel of Shadows, the female Tabaxi rogue. Hello, and I am Lex Ordo, played by Danny. I said that in a weird order, but you get what I mean.
Hi, and I'm Steve, playing... So Danny's cadence has just totally thrown me there. I'm playing Suri, the entirely elven druid fighter.
We got it worked out this time that you are definitely elven.
We've clarified. There's no in-between anymore, it's full-on elf.
I reckon by this point in Season 3 we're going to get through one of these without any hiccups.
I hope
Nah.
It's been 5 years. I don't have any confidence for the next 5.
Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result is the definition of insanity. So no.
Yeah.
And which we all are.
Yes.
Very good, my friends. So, last we left off, then you were in this little pocket of safety, crafted by Suri, now floating in the elemental chaos. The crucible is sort of drifting away from you, and you see it disintegrating and being claimed by the chaos itself as it is ripped apart by weird tempest storms. You are not out of the woods. You have claimed the seal, and now you have to find your way home. What would we like to do? I love it when Danny's autism kicks in, yeah.
My favourite thing about playing D&D with you guys is I can just let my intrusive thoughts win most of the time.
Yeah. Generally, we won't judge. So that's what D&D's about. So there we go.
Okay. So we're still in the ship. Cool. Got it.
Yep. I mean, you're a little bit out of the shit for now, while Suri maintains whatever this bubble of stuff is. But yeah.
How long can you hold this, Suri? We need to get out of here.
I don't know. I mean...
Not the pep talk I was after.
It's not taking too much conscious thought, but I'm new to this.
Do you think you could concentrate on this, and also, if we all use the Star Touch Crystal's power to open a portal, do you think you could keep your concentration in two places at once?
I can try. Well, hang on. And for a moment, so he's not going to dismiss whatever it is that he's currently doing, but for a moment he's just going to stop thinking about it actively, and then a split second later start again, regardless of what happens. But he wants to check whether that is something that he is able to do or not.
So, remind me of the spell you cast or the ability you used.
I think this was just because I put on
the seal, wasn't it? Yeah.
The braces, and was kind of exerting my will more gently. Here's
what we'll do then. You break that concentration for the briefest of moments and immediate... Go on. You look like you're about to say something.
We've lost audio on Steve.
We've lost audio. Oh no. Oh no.
The elemental storms took his voice.
Hello.
There we go.
If you press the mute button, it stops working. So
consummate professionals as always.
I used one use of my Wrath of the Sea to try and bring some kind of elemental order to the area around me. So I believe it's only like a 10 or 15 foot radius area around us. That usually lasts for, I think, 10 minutes. Just double check that. And notably, it doesn't require concentration.
Okay.
And it lasts 10 minutes.
Very good.
Spam.
So you sort of stop focusing on it for a second, but your natural ability continues this little bubble. But as the minutes pass, you can see the bubble beginning to get weaker and weaker. As lightning begins to flash around you, you see these giant balls of globular magma just floating towards you and bouncing around. earth motes and winds that swirl around you as well. Things are about to get chaotic if you don't do something within the next sort of 6 or so minutes.
That's very precise. I'm thinking open a portal with the crystal. Try and get us back to...
To answer your question, yes, but quickly.
Yeah. Let's try and get somewhere friendly. We need a key to open the portal to the material plane. Edgiest to Camry, can you give me something that would be, I don't know, a possession of yours from Union City? So I'm hoping we can open a portal to the material plane and drop into Union City if you give us a portal key. It will get consumed. It would get consumed, by the way, so it needs to be something you don't mind losing.
I literally have nothing.
Edges, just give us a business card. We got them printed in Union City. That should do it. He's got like a stack of 50. So
literally just 52-car pickup in the middle of this bubble.
The bundle of twined business cards altogether. I'm going to use that as the portal key as we channel the Star Touch Crystal to open a portal to the material plane, and because we can open it and shut it once a day. So obviously we want to shut it straight away so the chaos doesn't follow us through.
Amazing stuff. While Lex is casting that, then the seal pulses on your arms, Suri, and it's almost like this chaos is drawn towards you for a moment. I would like, apart from Lex, a group either Arcana, Nature, Survival, or Perception check. So you can choose any of those, or use a spell slot for whatever reason. It's another group type check. Go on.
Just to rule lawyer ourselves, to open the portal, it's a group activity using the Star Touch Crystal.
Very good. So I will ignore that. You just notice the seal pulses and things begin to shoot towards you. You all begin to concentrate on the Star Touch Crystal then. I will say Cavan is in Union City. A shard of the Star Touch Crystal is there.
Oh, that could be the anchor as well. Happy days. Pretend we thought of that.
I thought you said Callum then. I was like, oh shit.
No,
It better not be.
Cavan.
Could you imagine if
Nobody
we
knows
landed
what
in front
Callum
of
is.
Callum?
For a moment I panicked.
Very good. So, yes, we're not just going to give you this for free. We're in the middle of the elemental chaos. I am going to still ask everybody. This is still going to be a group check. So it can be Arcana, Nature, or a similar offering of your choice. You just need to explain to me how it fits in narratively, and then we will roll. The DC is going to be 15 for each of you. We need to have a more positive than negative.
Fuck.
Arcana
I'm going to use my inspiration from last time.
or survive.
There we go. Make sure you chalk that off. What would you like to use, Jewel?
Survival. It's
Survival.
double what Arcana is.
Yeah. Narrative theme being here, I just want to get out of here and survive
Yes,
every force of will into this crystal.
I think it goes really well with a natural 20.
Oh, can that's two
First roll for
successes.
the night.
First roll,
Come on.
natural 20 on the grog dice. Happy days. So yes, 22. Not that that really matters.
Oh, well, come that's two successes. Lex.
I'm glad I used my inspiration from last time. Thank you for that, because my first roll was a 5, the second one was a 12, so 17 altogether on Arcana.
Ooh, beautiful.
Just, there we go. Third success. Suri.
It's a 26 on survival.
Oh,
Fucking hell. Come on.
Amazing. Go on then, Lex. Roll for Edgius.
Oh shit,
Or Danny, I should say.
I was not prepared.
I think that Jules, as you say, sort of survival instincts of wanting to get to
Dirty
safety
20.
is what's powering. Oh, beautiful.
In this moment then, you almost, as you're floating quite rapidly. It's more of a soaring than a float at this point. Again, the seal pulses, and it's almost like the elemental chaos is drawn towards you. And then you seem to reach this ragged boundary where the chaos just seems to disappear out into darkness. And just as you get there, that Star Touch crystal, the fragments flow out in front of you, forming a 4-pointed star. Excuse me. you know there is a piece missing, but still it forms this four-pointed star, and a bright light begins to glow as those pieces separate out, and in front of you forms a gate, and you see what looks like Union City. For Suri, you see a tiered city of multiple peoples of all natures, all races, all ages. As you get towards the top, you see this mountain that sort of extends up to the very sky. There are a number of airships sort of flying around, and it looks like you're going to step out onto the middle tier somewhere as well. What do we do?
Everybody in!
I was going to say, I'd say leg it, but whatever the version of float it is through, presumably here. And then good. Gravity probably reverts and be like straight onto the floor.
Gonna ask everybody to make me either an athletics or acrobatics check, or alternatively, you can throw a dexterity saving throw.
Acrobatics for a 33.
Yeah, Jewel comes dancing out of this. Still looking a bit worse for wear, mind you, but comes dancing out of this and then just sort of slumps to the floor.
As with any cat, at least lands on all fours, even if it didn't look particularly graceful doing so.
Yeah, very good.
I got a 19 on a dex save, but I would like to come out. I'm assuming Suri has to come out last because he's keeping the bubble. I would like to come out as close to just before Suri as possible because I want to immediately try and close the gate afterwards.
Amazing stuff. Let's roll for Takami then, shall we?
Yeah, just...
Yeah, easily. She sort of uses her dragon staff as a bit of an oar to try just somehow just like sails her way and pushes her way through this portal, and then woof begins to fall. And as she falls, she, in true monk style, plonks the staff down, sort of does the whole monkey stand on side of it, and then just rocks to the side and lands on her feet. Roll for Edgius.
27 on dex save.
Amazing. Edgius scatters bones everywhere before they all then roll together, and he just forms into a perfectly formed skeleton again and just walks off.
Nice.
Close it,
And
Lex.
Suri, how do you come through this?
That's a 19 on an athletics, so...
Amazing.
Yeah, just holding back whilst everyone goes forwards, kind of having twigged that Lex is going to want to close the portal as quickly as possible, wait for him to get out of the way, and then literally just kind of launch myself in a standing leap.
Amazing. You sort of launch yourself, grab on the edge of this gate, and throw yourself through. There is then just this final peal of thunder and flash of lightning as those 4 points of that star and then float into your pockets. And we are out of the elemental chaos and in the middle of Union City, where a number of people are just turning and open-mouthed staring like, what the fuck was that?
Hey, it's
Hi,
okay.
everyone.
Hey, how you doing?
Played our detective agency on official business. Don't need to worry about it.
What day is it?
You had to ask me that question. Even I can't remember my own calendar now.
Just say Wednesday.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but we've got specific names for the days of the week, and I now
And
have
whose
to go
fault
and
is
figure
that,
out.
Matthew?
Yes, it's my fault. Fuck you. They're still like massively just open mouthed, like.
Nope. Do you know? It's okay. Good to see you. I hope you're well.
At least the clock tells us what time it is, I suppose.
So yes, it is the 5th day of the week. It is Narn, as somebody just goes, yeah, it's Narn.
Great, thank you. Do we know if we've lost any potential days in, like, yeah, because usually Feywild does some trickery, whereas I don't know that Jewel knows that would do anything in different planes.
Make me a history check, please.
Oh, that's actually not bad. Dirty 20. Happy with that.
Dirty 20. Yeah. Sorry, that took a while to register in my brain for whatever reason. With a dirty 20. Yes, you remember now that the winds themselves took days potentially and hours to traverse. You have lost, from what you can tell, 2 days on this journey.
Okay. That's not too bad.
There are no distant screamings from the walls or anything. Sounds like this is a very normal day.
Yeah, there's
me a
no
perception
void
check.
tears
Well,
or storms or anything.
It was certainly normal before you arrived, at least from what you can tell, but with your perception check...
22.
22. You look around, and apart from this small group that's in front of you, and you realise there's a ruined stall of sorts. It looks like a small fruit stall. And there's like squashed bananas, a broken melon, and just different pieces around. Everybody else is relatively calm and normal and milling about their day. There's just one full-on terrified stall owner who's just there like...
I'm ever so sorry. Here's something for your trouble, and I'll give him 10 gold.
His wages.
No harm done! And they just fuck off.
If in doubt, pay for the silence.
Guys, thank you so much for getting us out of there. I think
We did it together. The definition of a team effort. So that, just to clarify, there is no void tears. There's no screams and panics. Apart from us causing a scene, Union City seems pretty cushy.
Looks fine.
Okay. I was half expecting to come back into absolute chaos from the chaos, if that makes sense. You know, we heard stories of storms and voids and cults and stuff. I'm just... maybe we can gather some intel while we're here. But I think it's safe to say we need to recuperate, gather our thoughts.
I think we need to sort of, take stock of what's going on. We've been, away and out of it for so long, we don't even know if there's, danger on our doorstep or time for us to... We don't even know where we're going. So we need to just, try and information gather. Suri, by the way, welcome to Union City. We do know some people here. We're not, in any peril, hopefully.
This is actually where most of our allies are, and we actually have, the key to the city, quite literally.
Yes. It's quite something. I have many questions, one of which is, why did they not build it on the flat bit? He points, down the slope towards the ground below.
Aesthetics, yeah.
I think it's actually quite defendable in this particular way. I could be wrong.
Right. Makes sense. We need to gather our thoughts and decide what we should do.
Yeah.
And I also feel after the last, however long it is since I had the fortune of meeting you, find a tavern and have a drink. And I have a few points that I need to clear up that are a little stickier than why did they build it on the mountain.
Yeah, I think...
Of course. Just out of interest, Lex, do you think maybe we would be able to be put up in the Black Vale estate for a little more privacy on our discussions? Perhaps.
Well, I know we've got... The Girls Hawthorne Street is right. We've actually been given our own house, I suppose, that we could go to. We've got the offices, the Planar Detective Agency office we could go to if we wanted to, or if we could go see Mara, but I suppose we want to let her and Cavan do whatever they're doing. They're getting married, she's pregnant. Although Cavan's vision did say they was in danger, and that doesn't seem to have happened yet. So obviously, he's prevented that from coming true, I would say. But I think Suri's right. We need to just find somewhere, take stock, and you're probably going to have loads of questions, Suri, about things that happened prior to us meeting you, where we plan to go next, and whether that coincides with what you want to do next. Whether you're in this with us till the end, or whether you have your own things to do. But I would love it if you stayed.
I would second that.
quite aside from my surprise at having friends again, if we're saving the world, will I live there? So it seems worth doing. Anything else can wait.
I can't argue with that. And I mean, I suppose what else are you meant to do on the 5th day of the week? Save the world.
And on the 5th day, you save the world. I think that's what the Holy Book says, isn't it? So I don't know. We'll rest on the 7th day. That's all I know.
In the morning,
Which
we plan.
holy book are you referring to? There's like 23.
All of them.
They're
all rip-offs of the same story.
I can't say I've read any of them, but
In Ardalia,
I'll take your
didn't
word
mean-
for it.
I meant in Ardalia. Don't come at me, internet.
And yes, there are still a few points that it would be worth clearing up, and maybe things that need to be discussed somewhere. Trusted.
Yeah.
I'll take your lead.
You notice Aegeus has begun to wander off down the hill and then turns around and goes, "Are we going to the Earl's Hearth or what?"
Apparently, Yell's Health then. That one or Black Veil?
Yeah, I think we should leave Mara for now. I don't want to... If she's pregnant and having a baby, I don't want to bring anything to her doorstep just yet. Even though she'll know we're here already, probably.
Yeah, almost definitely. Right, let's go.
Yeah.
Takami does pause for a moment and goes, I should go and inform.
Yes, Kumuri.
Yeah, you
know
do what
who
you need to
I'm
do.
gonna-
Yes, no,
I'll-
of course.
Yeah, I'll catch up with
Yeah.
you later.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure you'll be able to find where we are. I'm sure.
You watch,
she
she
does.
lifts up that amethyst dragon staff, spins it in her hand, and then soars into the air as she flies at this point.
Where was that? 2 hours ago.
I mean, she did use it.
Yeah, she did. Can I keep an eye out for anyone who looks like they're trying to follow us while we go
You
down?
absolutely can. Your passive perception score, please.
85 in it or something silly.
22.
It's like 320. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So you begin making your way from this middle tier, and you sort of walk along one of the cliff edges and down the stairs. For those playing the home game, I did create a new map of Union City. I say new. I finally created a map of Union City because Steve gave me the kick up the arse I needed. So yes, that is somewhere shared with you. You can certainly have a look at that. And you begin to head down to sort of the lower tier areas, and eventually round that corner towards the raucous, chaotic, dirty, bedraggled tavern that is the Jarl's Hearth. Hearth, even. Fuck me, words today. It's a Monday, folks. The Jarl's Hearth. And you see these, a number of half-orc individuals sort of sprawled on the floor, pissed out of their tree, as per usual. There's vomit, there's drop steins, there's broken chairs. And the saloon-like doors just still swing in this mild breeze. You can smell the stale ale in here.
Why do we like this place? I remember it being a lot nicer. This place is an absolute shithole.
At least we have
Just
a private
taking a
room.
punt. Did you find this place through Aegeus by any chance?
How
Yeah.
could you have
Hey.
known?
Lucky guess.
They always treat us well. There's no judgment. That's what I like.
Look, let's get some drinks and perhaps take advantage of the private room for us to have a
Yeah, yeah.
discussion.
They do have a function room, which is very nice. It's like the equivalent of a
Oh.
working man's club with a function room out the back.
With sick on the floor. Oh, very authentic.
The orcs are all in a union and they're going on strike tomorrow, but they're all getting pissed up there.
Find you get
Yeah,
a
so-
better class of sick in a private function room.
Yes.
Very good. You walk in, and your favourite barkeep is there, the half-orc individual, big burly, and he just goes, Planar Detective Agency, welcome back! As you can see, the establishment is not changed. Drinks?
I forgot he was Russian. Nice to see you again.
He's not. He's orcish.
All right, all right.
Yes,
Hello.
nice to see you all too. You are looking a little bit worse for wear. Some of you, there's lots of cuts and blood. We are not averse to blood in, as you can see, and there is just one. It actually looks like a really tall, lanky goblin, totally out of place. It's just there with a mop bucket, just like, I fucking hate this job.
Tall, lanky goblin. Nobody ever does half races with a goblin, do they?
Oh, who said it's not?
You ever met one?
Oh,
I
come
don't
to
think
of
there's
it.
a very long queue.
Hey. Well, that's a
My
campaign
mother
3
often tells
character
me
idea.
of when she were younger, and she would have a long streets of suitors of all races for these fair elven maidens. Yet I have never heard a story of anybody seeking out a fine goblin woman to settle down with. And I think there may be reasons.
Hey, goblins need
The
love
one
too.
that's mopping just sort of looks up and goes, you know, if you find one, I'll fucking take it.
Nice.
Not
As you can
not
see, it's
goblin.
stiff competition.
Speaking of which, some beers and a bottle of wine if you have any.
Of course, we have plenty. I'm assuming you want the one that's not been vomited in.
Preferably,
one of
I'm
the
sure it
open-
would add taste, but fine. Also, can we use
And
the...
I'll have the same.
Not the one with the... Oh, 2 wines then. Brilliant. The bottle, why not?
And some beers.
Very well.
Great. Can we
Can
use
we
the
I'll
use
one-
put
room
it
in
on
the
the
back?
tab that you never pay, yes?
Oh,
Ed-
what is it up to now? We've recently come into some money.
And,
Like 3
and it
gold,
just
that's all.
unfurls this full scroll. Like, well, Cavan has been having his fun. Lots.
God damn it.
Do you know what? I'll just put it on the Black Veil tab and we'll leave it at that, shall we?
A wonderful
Sold.
idea.
Agreed.
Very good. Function room, you know it is. Second door on the left. Watch out, there might be some people, you know.
Bumping uglies.
Yes.
I think our challenge
Okay.
will be to throw them out of the room while they're still doing it. Are we up for that?
Okay. Didn't expect to walk in on fornication just before we have a serious chat about the end of the world, but okay, let's do it.
Amazing stuff. As you approach the function room doors, then you can hear some strange grunting, and then there's a not there.
Put
I'll
your
just-
finger there.
Excuse me. I don't know why I went Yorkshire then. Or, excuse me, my love. Do you mind if we... All right.
And the door opens a crack, and there's just like this green eye that pokes through. What?
Get out.
If I give you 2 gold, will you finish in a different place? I don't mean on her. I mean on the building.
Just try that.
You want me to finish on the building? Well, I've not wanked off in the building, but fine. Okay. And they just walk out, start bollock naked, hold the hand out for the 2 gold,
Yep, I'll give him 1
like
each.
full mast. Yeah, you just then hear a shout from, "No, don't do that there!" As another or a small dwarf rushes out, just like, oh. The female orc, full-blooded orc, just sort of walks out, full in the buff, and just like, you know, I can make myself available if you are looking for fun.
Would you make
Firstly,
yourself
but-
scarce?
Well, those are very nice though, but we're kind of busy. End of the world and all that.
Well, excuse me. I will go find custom elsewhere. And waltzes out.
Yeah. I think her
that's
name
half,
might have been
everybody.
Double D, if you know what I mean.
I see why you decided to set up headquarters around here. It's
Yeah, you can see why I said it's his favorite place, right?
lovely.
This place is awesome.
Yeah. Okay, I'm not going to sit there because it looks wet, but I'll just clear a path over here and we'll just sit down and conduct some business.
I grab like a rag that's all, somewhere on the side of the room and just start like
Wrong
trying
rag.
to- wipe down the table.
The lanky goblin comes in with a bucket and a cloth and just,
I'll just get this tidied up for you. The beers and the wine are on the way. Don't mind me, you chat about what you need to. I'm just going to be here, and just
ducks his head and just fucking scrubbing the table.
Not saying a word in front of the goblin.
Yeah, so I basically just sit down and start trying to like bind wounds and shit like that.
Yeah.
I would like to cast
Make me a
shape
medicine
water
check.
and I'd like to use shape water and freeze the fluids that he is mopping up and the bit that's on the mop, so it basically just turns into like a massive ice pop.
Look like one of those milk
Oh
pops.
no!
Just lift it up
Gone and
and carry
scratched
it
the fucking
outside.
table. Oh, don't tell him I scratched the table.
Just wanders outside. You notice the state of this table. It is full of scratches, dents. There's chips taken out. There is a knife stuck in one end, so far in that nobody's getting it out. But yeah, he disappears out very quickly.
Sorry.
11 on the medicine.
Is he all right?
No, he really is not.
I don't remember seeing him before. I think he's new.
We have been gone a while.
Anyway, I think one of Edgius, can you keep watch at the door just to make sure nobody eavesdrops on us?
Edgius takes his skull off, plonks it outside, closes the door, and then just goes sits on a chair cross-legged.
Not what I meant, but that'll do.
Holds his hands up like,
If anyone comes, he can like slam his hands on the desk, and we can know.
Yeah.
I think that's already happened.
That's smacking a bone on the desk.
Jizz aside, we got important matters to discuss.
I love when our meetings start with jizz aside. What is our world like? So, we're alive.
Well, it's probably
It's nice
better
to know
than
that
when it starts with just "so the jizz."
That's
Anyway,
true. And
cheers.
it's just nice to know that in the end of the
Cheers,
world,
Suri.
in complete chaos, that people still having fun.
I'm afraid they probably don't know how much trouble we're all about to be in.
But Spaff Cafe. Thank you, chat.
Ooh, that's a spaffé.
A Spaffe. Which sounds like
Right,
something
lock
a
it in,
millennial would
fellas.
order from Starbucks. Can I have a Spaffuccino?
or a jizz club.
2 pumps.
just to break this, Rurik knocks on the door, and before he gets to the knock on the door, Edgius stands up, opens the door, and Rurik walks in with 2 big carafes of wine, and then the rest of the beers. I will leave you to it. I see you've got your watch skull. Somebody is going to play
Yeah.
football with
Can,
that.
can
if
you
you're
make
not
sure
careful.
we're not disturbed? There were some people humping in here.
Yes, this sort of, when we say function room, it's a functional room for various activities. So,
Yeah.
careful where you sit. See you later.
Thanks. Okay. Wait for him to leave and shut the door.
Edgius now takes off one of his arms and shoves it through the door as like one of like iron beams, so it can't be opened either, and then just goes sits back cross-legged.
Okay.
So,
Are you just going to keep those on the whole time? Pointing at the braces on Suri.
Well, I mean, in part, while we're here, I'm going to keep on as many bits of clothing as I possibly can.
That's fair. Oh, I'm sorry. That came out a bit wrong. I think you should probably keep them on from now on, considering we're now at the
Oh,
point
I
where we need to
see.
gather the last. We need to gather the last piece. We've got them all. Jewel, you've got 1. I've got 2. Suri, I think you need to keep 1. And I think we need to figure out what do we do now. How do we prepare for the end game?
I had misunderstood. My apologies. Based on what the previous occupants were doing, I thought this was the start of some very strange game.
Oh no, we've not brought you here to for coitus. No, not at all. That's not what we're here
It's
for.
excellent.
as you can tell, his his game, pointing at Alex, is spot on. He really can talk the pants off any woman.
Joke's on you, Jewel.
You
You don't wear pants, do you?
This gives Jewel this kind of very deadpan look of like, I don't want to pass judgment on your life choices, and I appreciate that that's what you think. And then I say, yes, quite. Yes. Well, they're quite useful. I think they
while
may
you're
have
wearing
some.
them, can you feel anything? Do you feel a pull to us, who has the other pieces?
I haven't really had an opportunity to think about it too much, to be honest. I put them on in a little bit of a rush.
Were you granted a vision? Every time we touched one, we got a vision.
No, not really.
Oh.
I mean, don't we have them all? I know we don't have one, but you know
Minus the Callum one. Yeah.
We got them all.
So that somewhat brings me to my main question. Who the bloody hell is Callum? I understand the Shrouded Lord. I met him. He's an arse. Who's Callum?
Oh. It's too emotional. I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, I'll give you the
I'm kidding. He's a cunt.
Okay.
Edge's other arm just clicks and points at Lex like thumbs up.
Okay, Cliff Notes, we were looking for something back in Mostacy. He was there looking for it. Similarly, he just said he would join us. We got on well with him. We then learned, well, he was being a bit cagey, but we then asked him, and he gave us the answer that someone had got his father. We therefore bonded with him, and we honestly thought he was just great, and he was playing us the whole time because he was likely there as a plant with the others of the elders of Mostacy. He has been playing us.
Yeah, and I think can you remember when we first met and I got Cog to scan you and I said, oh, it's okay, he's legit. Well, it turns out that because Cog has true sight, he can see in the illusions, and he saw the void magic true form of Callum, but because we weren't reacting to it, he didn't react to it, and he never thought to tell us, which he knows never to do again. I'll flick him in my pocket. So,
which was fuck you.
Ironically, the clues were there the whole time, and we just didn't see them. But he built our trust, and then he betrayed us, which was why we were so cagey with you when we first met you. So hopefully that explains it. But obviously, that's all behind us now, and you're one of the gang.
Yes, but also directly in front of us.
It's understood. I mean, meeting strangers on remote mountainsides is usually a reason for distrust in itself, and it certainly sounds like you have been had.
Well, and I think that was...
I don't have some great sob story of my own. My parents, to my knowledge, are both alive and annoying, and my siblings are off being probably insufferably successful in whatever they do. And in terms of the great hardships, as far as you're concerned, I've lost what is basically a piece of wood with some string on it. It just happens to be something that a piece of wood that people are very fond of.
Yeah, and I think that's part of the reason why we trusted you so much, is because your reticence to actually like us, your general disdain for us, made me think you weren't trying to win us over, which actually won us over, ironically.
I don't want to take all of the credit for that. You made it very easy.
Thank you. I've just done an insight check, and that was an insult.
You see, for the first time, Suri cracks a sly grin.
What's wrong with your face?
Quick,
I've never seen you do that before. What is it doing?
Suri, you said you had other questions apart from why is it not on the flat bit. Do you have more?
Callum was number one. He clearly is going to be something that people are very keen to deal with. I wanted to understand why. However, him being a lying bastard sounds like a reason to dislike him doesn't necessarily sound like a reason to prioritize seeking him down during the apocalypse.
Oh, the key piece of information we forgot to tell you is when he betrayed us, he stole a codex piece. So we had the Feywild amulet, and we gave it to him because he was Fey touched. We thought he could utilize its power more effectively. But essentially, he stole it and ran off back to the Shrouded Lord's minions.
Excellent.
So that's why we need to find him.
Being
Look, if
fucked over by the Fae. Very appropriate.
Revenge aside, we could just nick it back off him, but we would like to do that off his still bloody corpse. So.
Well, I mean, if he's as bad as you say he is, it seems pointless to find him and not do two things at the same time. What's the saying? Two fish with one stick or something?
Pretty much. So yes, that. We don't know also what we're going to do after this, and I think we might find it useful to use this time to find out what the enemy is doing, perhaps plunder some of the resources we have or connections we have in terms of information gathering. What does the Black Veil, guys know, and go from there.
Oh,
Cat's
exploding
back.
in money again.
Hello.
The cat's back. Thank you.
Back.
Holy shit.
Legend. Have to miss
Thank
Cats
you
of
so
the
much.
Day. Thanks for dropping in.
Thanks, man.
So I do think the reason I wanted to bring us to Union City is Cavan, who you've met, his soon-to-be baby mama, has a network of spies that we've asked to go out and gather intel for us. So I think if we was to set up a headquarters or fortify our headquarters here, Aegeus and Cavan, we can start to build a network of allies, make this a stronghold. It's the most defensible place on here anyway. It seems to be untouched so far. Makes a good place tactically for us to set up a camp more permanently, would you say?
Out of the shadows, a voice sounds. I am not sure I appreciate being called a baby mama. More Black Veil slinks out with the smallest of baby bumps sort of showing, and then sits down in a seat, pours herself a glass of wine. Cheers.
I knew you were there.
Puts it down.
Suri's sword is like halfway out.
It's
And then
okay.
looks around the table and realizes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Mara, this is Suri. Mara.
Good to meet you, sir. Cavan has told me a lot about you, or at least enough from the brief encounter he had. He's fine, just so you know.
And how are you? And I'll point at the baby bump.
Yes, it was a shock, but a happy shock. I am keeping myself safe, shall we say.
Yeah, and everything's okay, right? You're okay? You and Kevin are okay?
There was a brief moment with some darkness that came over the city, but between Cavan and his abilities and a little bit of my own magic, we have managed to fight that off. But I expect they will be back again.
As in the void? The shadow creatures?
According to Cavan, more shadow than void.
Okay. As long as everybody's safe.
I was going to say, is everybody safe?
We are now. We lost a few of the gentry, shall we say, during the attack, but Cavan came in like a shining beacon and board a giant eagle of all the fucking things. Like, who knew he had one of them?
We certainly didn't. It would have been very useful otherwise.
And Mara winks, because it was Morrow that changed into a giant eagle. And she's just like, yes, I like to keep my cards close, shall we say.
So, apart from that happening here, what else do you know? I believe that Rosendom is overtaken. But do you know of anywhere else?
Rosendom is very much now a bastion of the enemy. We are struggling to get anything in or out of Rosendom anymore. It is slowly spreading. There is rumors of something happening in Kedmir as well.
Oh God!
Despite an individual fighting back as strong as they can. But yes, Kedmir was already corrupted from what we can tell.
If you may excuse me, I've been out of town for a few years. How far from here is this Kedmir?
Kedmir is one of the kingdoms just to the south west of here. I had to do my own fucking cardinal points in my head there.
Yeah,
so
we haven't
forgive
been
me.
there yet, have we?
No, but you do know an individual from there. Mara continues.
Checks notes.
We are aware that one of the noble families was murdered, and it seems that this was the catalyst, and the first domino within Kedmir. It is closer than I would like. It is closer than Rosendom, but I think, given what we have, and we have been in touch with Drymir already and the druids, I think we can make a decent stand here, should we need to.
Well, you mentioned a bastion for the bad guys in Rosendom. It makes sense that we make Union City Bastion of Hope, right? For everybody else.
You said the title. Sorry.
He said the title. Like, take a point of inspiration just for that moment.
Okay.
Not that we shout that every time that in a movie if they say it, we go, "Oh, they said it."
Yeah.
Oh. So, I guess what we're hearing is things are happening, but it's not. Perhaps we have some time to do our own info gathering and/or resource gathering, as in people, our allies. I think now is the time.
I mean,
Is
as you
this
can see,
spreading
Mara,
Now is...
Is this spreading from the west?
Well, it was spreading from the northeast, which is where Rosendom is, but now we have a second pocket, if you like. I should also say that we reached out to Thalissa, and
I was going to ask about it.
there has been nothing back.
That's not a good sign.
It sounds like the
Suri
edges
just
are
looks
creeping in,
across
right?
the table. Suri looks across the table and mouths Thalissa, and then who the fuck is that?
I get the impression, Suri, that you are not from Enoeth, or not from this part of Enoeth, at least.
I'm certainly from Enoeth, yes.
And
Which
you
now I
hail
say it
from...
sounds like a really suspicious way of phrasing it. But I am from Enoeth.
which part?
Nyland.
Oh, you're from that jumped up kingdom.
Hey, I heard the king's really nice. Great guy. Great guy.
We've been a little out of the loop. Some of us even more so than others.
So, given that it's now creeping from the edges, it seems to be obviously towards everybody else. You can see the state we're in. We need time to recover, recoup, and get our heads on straight. Do we even have the time to do that?
Of course we do. It's not going to be an overnight thing for this corruption to spread across the continent. We have time.
Suri, do you,
But we must
given
use the
that
time.
Nylin is to the east, sorry, Matt, do you need to get word to any families? Are you worried about their safety at all? Mara, do you know what Nylin is like? Is it safe?
Nyland is probably one of the safest places across Enoeth. It's that well protected. You have
Because
the
the king's so
Draconian
good.
Knights, you've got the king and the queen and their children, and it's, yeah, I mean, they keep to themselves pretty much.
Yeah, why wouldn't
I suppose it would be impolite to not send word to keep an eye out. I have less than no desire to visit myself, and until I have secured certain other items, would not necessarily be particularly welcome.
Right.
Maybe even then.
Would you like me to send a raven for you, Suri?
Yes, if that were possible. Thank you.
It is.
Okay.
Nothing too sentimental.
Any-
Just, world's ending, watch out for purple shit in the sky.
Very good. And I will be sending that to...
To whom it may concern.
Fisher pulls out one of the Pony Detective Agency cards, and has anyone got a quill or anything? I don't write very often.
Yes, Jewel will bring out a quill.
And he just writes down, like, name, address, and this will get there well enough.
I would love to be
Takes
a
the
nosy
card,
bitch.
puts it in the cleavage. Consider it... Or make me a Go on then. Make me a perception check.
It's going to be at advantage if it's after she's put it in there. Disadvantage. Well, no, actually. Okay.
22.
Hormones and all that.
Because of reliable talent.
20...
Because of reliable talent.
22. Mara is one of these master of secrets anyway, and can see Suri is sort of being pretty secretive himself. The swiftness would have required a 25. Sorry, I paused because, yet again, gift subs. Like, thank you so much. The engagement over the last 2 weeks has been absolutely phenomenal. We love you, Polar Knights. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Amazing. Like, incredible. Mara herself is the master of subterfuge. She whips this into her quite considerable cleavage so quickly, Jewel, that you almost get whiplash trying to catch this. DC for that check was absolutely 25. Just missed out, unfortunately.
Do I see it because I was already looking at her bosom? No, I'm joking.
No, but her eyes do look towards you and go, Lex, my face is up here.
I know, but your eyes are intimidating.
I will accept that. That is perfectly
Yeah.
reasonable. I should say, for Suri's sake, because I've not described Mara to you, Mara is the epitome of understated sexiness in the form of a female drow. But her eyes are not the standard drow-like eyes you would expect, not red. They are more akin to elven eyes. You actually see an element of mixed heritage here. She is drow mixed with more pure elven blood. Hence she is able to walk around on the surface in daylight, suffers no ill effects, but there's a clear connection to the Black Veil family and the drow.
So, based on that information and Suri's own lineage, I think he'd probably look and go, I've shared a secret of mine with you, if you would be so kind. I'm curious.
Ah. Yes, well, my family is old. It is not without its mixings. My father is similar to you, shall we say.
Is this where we find out you two are cousins?
Suri's kind of giving a bit of a like, she must be a lucky lady in that case. Kind of looking like, okay. Very unusual, but maybe the world would be better if it weren't.
It has its advantages. At least I have found it so.
Yes.
And,
well, fortunately, we didn't meet several weeks ago when I was inappropriately made up to pass amongst some of your communities.
It worked.
Yes,
Don't
my
admit to
cousin
doing-
did report back.
Drow face in front of a drow.
Mara, I wonder if you might be able to help. I have not discussed this with the group, but I was wondering. We don't want to disturb you at the estate, plus we would be pushing our boundaries, and we don't really necessarily want to conduct all of our meetings in this particular delightful tavern. Do you have any places that we might be able to crash at that you may know of? We're in some funds.
I mean, or do you even know of a place where we could establish
we
an
really feel
official
we need to.
like headquarters for us? I know we were gifted a building, but I'm not sure tactically whether that would be okay. And obviously that's public record, so that's the first place people would look for us. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. The old Bones Detective Agency is taking some time to refurbish. It was blown apart. So maybe...
that helps us plot-wise. Thank you.
There is plenty of real estate that we can look at if this is what you are after. And if you are planning to use this for planning and forming a base of operations, then I absolutely do not want you in my estate where you will put me and Kevin at risk and everybody else in my family.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it needs to be defensible, far enough away from trade ports, so obviously we can lay low, but also close enough if we need to bring in supplies and stuff. I'm sorry, Suri, there's no like lakeside buildings. We're landlocked here, so there'll be no water necessarily, but a koi pond might be something we could probably get.
There are rivers and waterways.
Yeah.
Streams, springs.
Is there one next
I've
to the
had
river?
my fill of the coastline for a lifetime. Don't worry.
Okay. Do you think you could help us find a strategic
I saw a
place?
few.
Sorry, Suri.
I will do some investigation. Sorry, you were saying.
A waterfall would be nice. I think I had seen one or two streams trickling down.
Yes, there are quite a
Would
few.
also
In fact,
allow
maybe...
us to-
Yes.
we could also siphon a little off and have our own water supply that way. I'm thinking if we're having to hunker down.
A secret entrance behind the waterfall. I read that in a comic script one time. That would be cool.
I don't really know what most of those words were, but okay.
I will investigate, but I think maybe one of the cliff faces or mountain faces, some area right now. I will report back. Have fun.
Thank you. Keep yourself safe. You'll know where to find us.
Disappears as Jules finishing her sentence, and then you don't hear anything, you don't see anything. Like she's just gone.
See, this is what, when you do that to us, Jewel, this is how it makes us feel. It's unnerving, isn't it?
A good old Nyland goodbye. Excellent.
Yeah, okay. I get it. I'm still not going to stop. I'm still going to keep doing it.
Well, I mean, she's just promoted a whole bunch of other questions, but they can probably wait. I did have one other that I wanted to ask, if that's okay. Well, it's sort of two. How did you all become embroiled in the Shrouded Lord?
Whew, fucking hell, it's a big question.
Jill takes the carafe of wine and refills her glass, a goblet. Right.
Well,
There we go.
Jewel, do you wanna go first?
Well, sure. I did not realize it at the time, but we ended up with a rift. A portal was actually created in our village. I think very slight at the time. Started creating weird effects in our village, and unfortunately, I lost a good friend to the things that came through, these weird shadow creatures. I interestingly also lost I don't necessarily want to say mentor, but someone I looked up to as they were like an older kid to me. They're actually in league, I think against their will, with the other side at the moment. Maeonora. I kind of hope and don't hope we find her again. So yes, I tried to travel. I tried to travel the world to try and work out if there was a way I could help my village, and in doing so, I followed a path all the way to Thalissa, where I found the same creatures. I met up with Lex, and we started looking for them.
Yeah,
Interestingly,
and
at this point, we were framed for some murders in that city that these creatures had done, and we had to leg it. From then on in, it has been crazy.
yeah, and I was in Thalissa.
Framed.
So Thalissa is where we first met. As you know, I'm from Mechanus, and it's all about order, the great equation, balance. I was actually sent on a mission to investigate planar disturbances, which had been seen in Thalissa mostly, and people had started to go missing, and their life force had been zapped by these shadow creatures, as it turned out. But we were speaking to a powerful mage there, and she had an orrery, and I'll show him the orrery, like a giant version of this, where she was investigating the world, and it turned out that one of the people who killed her, who framed us for the murder, is actually in league, is one of the Triumvirate. So Vayne Shadowthorn was trying to build his own evil version of the orrery, and we stopped him, and that's how we got embroiled with his plot, which then it ultimately became the Shadow Lord's grand plan, in a way. So it's all linked. And then Aegeus is obviously linked because of Klein, who's a member of the Triumvirate, and him and Klein knew each other from a previous life. He killed his wife and kid.
Artemisia would love to have seen the orrery that we actually got, wouldn't she, Lex? Such a shame.
I should probably tell us how to work it. But we've never really asked you, Suri. What you said you're looking for a bow. I think you said when we first met. But how would the Abyssal Core have helped you do that?
The bow is a. If you remember when we first met, I was a little touchy about the idea that all elves are rangers and that we all spend our time firing bows from the trees.
Yep.
There's unfortunately a degree of truth to that in some circles. My family, in the past, were respected, shall we say, and they had at some point been gifted a fairly powerful magical bow, which became an heirloom that was passed to the eldest child each generation for them to go out and further the family's fortune and reputation. I was the eldest, and thus the bow came to me. I was not necessarily furthering my family's reputation at the time, but when I finally agreed that I should go and find something to do with my time, other than what I had been doing previously, it was of great importance to my family that I take it with me, so that it may gain more storied history, that the lineage may continue. As you may have guessed, I'm not an enormously sentimental man. But I took my charge seriously. Unfortunately, through circumstances that I really could not have foreseen, I lost the bow in a way that is very difficult to retrieve. I would not be welcome back home without it, and whilst I don't hold my family in particularly close regard, I do not actively wish them to suffer the indignity of having to explain how their eldest son went to the world to set out on an adventure and gain his own fame and fortune, only to lose the thing that the family had become most famed for.
Is it completely irretrievable?
I believe it is an item of significant enough power that it would be very difficult to be destroyed. And I also believe that in a sense, where I last saw it, it is probably fairly safe. Unfortunately, that place was going into the mouth of a kraken. Quite a large one.
Oh, so that's where the abyssal core comes in to help Fel.
Liesh Visk. I have spent a very long time pondering its location. I then spent a less long and more recent time trying to understand where it might be found. But it moves. There's no point in me simply going back to where the ship was lost. I need something that would allow me to pinpoint its location at a given time. And then I must defeat it and retrieve the bow. I have located it twice previously. That is why I don't have any friends.
Suri,
Hey,
if we
do now.
make it out,
I'd
of
like
this,
to keep these ones.
we'll help you find it.
I am honoured, but
Muted Malt.
don't tell him. I am not sure that I want to lose any more. I may have to
A
lose
bony hand lands on your shoulder, Suri, and just squeezes. And as you turn around, you see the single-armed, headless, skeletal corpse that is Edgiest Bones Jones. And the hand just grabs you and sort of... It's that reassuring squeeze.
I mean, not to get your hopes up, Suri, but Lex, can't we, like... I mean, it nearly killed you, so probably not. Grab it out of time.
I mean, on paper, yes, but it did nearly kill me last time.
Okay, let's not. That's fine. Moving on.
It's a little more personal than that now. As I said, I found it twice before.
So your Kraken is
There
like
is-
our Callum.
There is not just a matter of recovering the bow. There is a matter of cleaning my conscience and achieving what I have failed at the cost of the lives of people that I trusted before.
So it's more
I
of a pride.
appreciate. Yeah.
So does that mean actually the bow itself is kind of inconsequential to you? It's more of the reputation it would restore if you bring it home.
The bow is important to my family, not to me. My family, despite how I may speak of them, are my family.
Yeah.
Relationships can be complex and still mean something. The Kraken, Leshvisk, he has taken from me good people and countless many other good people from others. I mean, he's a Kraken, so he's probably eaten a few pirates as well. It might balance out a little, but for me, my conscience cannot be clear until I have stood up to that and avenged them, not for my pride, but for their dignity.
We will
Well,
help you.
as
I'm
soon as
sorry,
we save the
well-
world.
It is an unwelcome distraction at this time, but you ask. I will not lie to you.
Yeah. Can it wait until we save the world, though?
Well, I mean, if we don't, then I guess it's problem solved, right?
Touche. So win-win then.
I like your optimisms.
That's what, yeah. It's one of your defining qualities.
My name means ray of sunshine, and several other things.
Is it where it shines out?
That was a joke.
It's so hard to tell.
It
I
really
didn't
is.
want to insult your
No,
name.
it so is.
I was like,
I
yeah,
thought it was
ray of
difficult with you,
sunshine.
Lex, at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I mean, my name literally means law and order. So that's pretty nailed on. So I was thinking, it's like one of those ironic nicknames when somebody giant is called Tiny and you were called Ray of Sunshine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to stop talking now.
Maybe we should drink. We don't want to get
Drinking sounds
in.
good.
dry.
Oh, I can't drink
almost
too much.
on cue, Rurik Lodbrok just barges the door open, and it only goes so far before Aegis's arm catches, and it's just like, what the fuck? What? Why is this door stuck? And then Aegius just attaches his arm, pulls it out.
As the door opens, there is a dagger that goes like next to it as Jewel throws one at someone who's coming in.
I bring you drinks and you throw knives at me?
You
Fuck's
could
sake.
have knocked.
I've got a tray full of drinks.
No, please.
In Jules'
please.
defense, she didn't hit you. If she wanted to, she would have.
Well, fair. Rurik brings over the just tray of more steins of ale, more carafes of wine. There's a very suspicious-looking pie in the centre, steaming, and Rurik looks at it and goes, "Trust me, it tastes fine. Just don't ask what's in it." And then goes, "I will leave you to it. Stop sticking your fucking arms where they don't belong." And looks at Aegius. And by the way, your skull is just rolling around the bar. Is that you? Or and Aegius sort of crosses his arms in a sheepish manner. You can't tell because the head's not there. But you do hear just this as a skull rolls around the bar beyond. Rurik exits out. The doors close. And we fade to black. As the camera rises above Enoeth and disappears somewhere to the north. We come down over a small village, rain falling as a dark and dreary day pummels this tiny village of rudimentary straw huts. The first thing we hear is a scream. A young maiden runs out before her body is just caught and freezes in place. You watch as veins bulge across her body, and from her eyes, blood begins to rise into the sky. Out of her cuticles, out of her ears and nose, blood begins to pour out and raise up into the sky and forms this ball of blood. At the edge of this village, surrounded by emaciated corpses, a figure with blood-red hair and pale skin, a head cocked to the side and an arm up, just gathers the blood and pulls it into her body. The head snaps up and she jauntily turns. Behind her, as she turns to face it now, an army of blood-red creatures. Sticky, liquid, all bubbling. An army of blood elementals. Maeonora, the zombie witch,
Bollocks!
walks. And we're going to take a break.
Oh, fuck.
Reeling Dave in.
Yeah, fuck it.
So yes, thank you for the gift subs. Thank you for the donations as well.
Yes.
We'll be back in a few minutes.
Yeah, I was just going to say, so for Dental Cat, thank you so much for that $30. Sorry you have to miss it, and yes, please catch the VOD. So
Yes.
we'll see you.
We hope you enjoy this VOD as well if you're watching, or when you're watching. But yes, thank you. We really appreciate all your efforts last week as well. Cool. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back. See you soon.
Hello.
Hey! Nailed it, Dave.
Or sound him. If in doubt,
we
just press the
go.
button, see what happens.
Yeah.
So yes, welcome Raiders. Thank you very much for joining us. Hope you had a good stream and roll together. Welcome back. We are back in Union City, having escaped the elemental chaos, having reclaimed the elemental seal, and are enjoying a little bit of downtime and sort of decompression from the general antics. We had a little bit of a peek behind the curtain just before the break, which I'll let you go and enjoy on the VOD or the podcast. And so, my friends, do we continue to converse in the function room of the Jarl's Hearth? Do we want to long rest? What do we want to do?
Yeah, I think we basically stay there for a while, chat away, talk about anything and nothing, and then, yeah, probably then try and long rest, hoping that we'll get some news from Mara about some possible digs.
Yep.
Amazing stuff. I will say then that Rurik at some point, it's getting a bit late and he sort of brings in the last batch of drinks. Would you like me to just bring pillows and blankets? Do you want to crash here? Most people will crash outside.
Yeah, why not? I've not got the energy to go anywhere else. For now.
You still look like battered shit. So, yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We look how you smell.
You try working in a tavern down here and then tell me it's not like battered shit.
That's why I like
This
you.
is still the best tavern. You keep coming back.
Because we like your sunny disposition.
Well, there you go then. You see, you get the best bartenders, the best tavern owners, and the best servers.
Not wrong.
We will say, we'll jump straight back in, and we will say that Rurik sort of follows on the sentiment like, there's plenty of those around, and have a good evening. We will, I will see you in the morning. Please forgive any strange noises you may hear. There's a lot of crazy crap that goes on during the evening, but sleep well, and I'll be going. He exits out, door closes, and everybody can take a long rest.
I'll definitely be doing the alarm spell at the door.
Yeah.
Okay, you do that alarm spell at the door. Edgius pulls his head back in as the door closes and sort of puts it on his head, or puts it on his neck, I should say. Puts his head on his head is a bonkers statement. Twists it and then sort of rolls the neck, and you just hear this cracks his knuckles a little bit, and then kicks his boots up on one of the tables, puts a pillow behind his head, and falls asleep. Not that you can tell, because he's not got any muscles or eyelids. He just goes dead still.
I love the idea that Edges accidentally found another skull somewhere in this pud.
We have done this before. We found another skull and exchanged.
Of course we have. So Edgius is basically the ship of Theseus, but bones.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great.
Very much so.
Yeah. Cool.
Excellent.
So
stuff.
just as everyone was going to sleep, Suri would just kind of drunkenly mumble, "One of the underreported downsides of being an elf is that you have to be awake through all of your hangover." And then just like slumps forward onto the table in front of him.
Amazing stuff. I imagine Jewel sort of curls up on the table in a little ball.
Yeah.
Lex falls asleep dead straight. And yeah, Suri just slumps down. Snores begin to ring out throughout this function room and out into the tavern beyond. And we have a long rest. But you have reclaimed the final piece of the codex. So sleep is not going to be uninterrupted.
Of course.
Not for one of you, at least. Jewel, as you disappear into slumber and find yourself in that boneless blackness, pinpricks of light begin to appear. And 2 gigantic blue eyes open. You recognize the form of the Watcher before you.
There's a moment of relief to see the Watcher, and then mild alarm. She wants to look around and see if she can see any of the void, any of that rift.
As you look to one side, the rift has grown. Purple streaks of light now break into the astral plane itself. And you now see them. Small individuals, I say small individuals, distant individuals at each one of these cracks within the astral plane, holding these shields of light in front of them. Make me a perception check, please.
27.
As you look around these distant individuals, your eyes are drawn to one. Female figure, robes of blue, flowing hair behind them. As Timora stands there, arms outstretched, with this shield of energy just holding back the void. The Watcher's voice rings out. Time is getting short, Jewel.
I know.
I do not know how much of it we have left. But time is something I know a little about. And it is time I showed you something that I had to wait for.
Jewel thinks of the fact that the Watcher used to then be the other god. I can't remember the name of, but yeah, their connection with
Kronos?
time.
There was weird things. So no, Kronos eventually became other god, but yes, the power was handed over.
Yes.
You see a stream of blue energy. Yes, I'm borrowing from other universes and other franchises right now. But you see this stream of blue energy, and you are drawn towards it as you disappear into the distance. You begin to see visions, flashes of worlds, of planes, of places, of a world, of Ardalia itself, and distant figures of shining light and impossible forms, and then the Watcher's voice rings out. Jewel, I waited for one such as you for so long. Knowledge is an impossible burden, but there is knowledge that I must impart, the first part of a new puzzle. Before there were many gods, there were few. They were not wise, and they were only early. They shaped seas and skies, they carved mountains, lit the first stars in the dark. They were loud and clumsy and proud. You begin to see these different images of forces, of beings forming the very land, skies and stars. And then something changes, and the Watcher's voice rings out again. When their work began to tangle, they forged something to help them understand it. They called it the Eclipse Codex. It was not some holy book, not quite a weapon. It was, in its earliest form, a ledger of existence. It recorded every rise in power, and you watch as kingdoms begin to form and shape amongst themselves before they then crumble and fall. Every slackening, every place where the weave of reality pulled too tight or sagged too loose. You see fire begin to roil across a plain. When fire grew too wild and stone began to melt in its sleep, the Codex marked the imbalance. When a kingdom cheated its ending and clung to knife through necromancy and forbidden rites, the Codex darkened that page. When a god gave too much favor to one mortal or one nation, the ink flared to warn the others. You see, the elder gods could make mountains and storms, but they were not subtle. They felt that something had gone wrong, yet could not always see where to cut. So they gave the Codex a keeper. The book only refers to him by a single title: The Closer. You are drawn back into that liminal space. Time, Jewel, is a funny thing. You have eyes now that see. It will become clear in time. I know I say this too often to you. I have but one piece of the puzzle. You have what you need to complete it. But in order to complete it, you must understand what has happened through time.
I need to understand and learn from the past.
Yes.
Has this thing been used more than once before?
I have pieces of the puzzle, Jewel. If I show you too much too soon, then what must come to pass may not. Time is a fickle thing, Jewel.
If you show me too much, you give me too much, and the Codex itself has to revert what we do.
I knew I picked the right champion.
That's big.
The world is big, Jewel. But it's getting smaller, and those eyes turn towards the void now, and you watch as one of those individuals blinks out of existence. We will hold it back for as long as we can.
We will be as fast as we can. But we must spend time learning.
Haste, not speed. Care. Do it right, and do it once. Everything cuts to black now. You go into a dreamless sleep. You all complete a long rest.
Ooh.
However, you've all been drinking heavily, so as you wake up, I'm going to need constitution checks right in the morning.
I think that dream
Oh,
helped
sorry,
me.
constitution saving throws, I should say.
I think that dream saved me, even though I have a constitution save of 0, I got a natural 20. my second one.
Absolutely. You wake up feeling fresh as a daisy, focused to a point.
I got 28.
Lex. 28. Lex. Also, you wake up a renewed sense of purpose, wounds closing and healed, less broken, less battered. It's amazing what a good night's sleep will do. Suri.
There's a 17.
17. There's a slight dullness. But generally, that is a dullness you have learned to cope with over your many, many years. Who's going to roll for Edgius then?
He didn't have a head. He wasn't drinking anything.
That's fair. Very fair. Well, that you know of. But yeah, he probably just poured into the skull and came out the neck.
Shoving
But yeah.
hoppers or drugs up his ass.
That's why he was rolling around outside in the bar, just catching all of the spill.
Metaphysically connected to his stomach somehow. But no, Edgius wakes up fine as well.
We've all done it.
Yeah, we've all mind swept.
So between the four of you, you wake clear. What are we doing on this day?
It's nice to have a sleep and not be plagued by visions and weird dreams. Oh, such a peaceful
Only
sleep.
for you, Lex.
What do you mean?
I did. Okay.
You did what?
I'll recount the dream that Jewel had. So, I guess I need to figure out when this happened last time.
And you didn't think to ask who the closer was?
I was a little bewildered by what I was seeing. This is what I need to find out. I also think there is a chance he could not tell me too much. Again, it's that whole thing of if they give us too much power, the Codex will rewrite us. So,
okay.
Kind of. You know what I mean? So, we've got to work this out by ourselves, and therefore I need to hit the books hard. Edges, I'm sure you can help me. Lex, I know you are, but look, we've just. I need to really read up on this.
Well, I'm thinking, are we going to get in trouble for using it before it was a combined piece? But also, if I could ask, if Mechanus used to be Kronos, you might know who the closer was. I could ask him. Fucking, I always mix up the place and the person. I'm from Mechanus, and he is Primus. I'm going to ask Optimus Prime who the original Autobot was.
Hey, yep. I mean, again, I have the idea that I think they can't give too much away. This is like a. She's holding up the abyssal core like it's the piece of all of it. Like this is their checks and balances. This is their order to the chaos.
It could be a physical manifestation of the Great Equation that Primus goes on about all the time.
Well, almost exactly that. You know, if we get too far, out of our, direct line, it would pull us in. It's the TVA from Loki, is it? It just purges all the timelines that it doesn't want. Probably. Okay. So, at the very least, even if Primus doesn't know who the closer is, he might be able to give us some intel. If closer was the keeper or the arbiter of the Codex, there might be some intel on at least tell us how to use it when we need to. Yes. Okay. I need some time to meditate. And I'll take myself off to try and communicate with Primus as and when.
Suri reaches across the table for one of the, Suri reaches across the table for one of the undrunk beers and is just kind of like,
morning.
I thought I got up to speed with all of the people that you know. And now there's Primus. Mm-hmm. And then there's someone who used to be called Cronus.
Yeah, so the original god of time ended up becoming
Of course.
Primus, who is the person who looks after the Great Equation on Mechanus, and is kind of like my, I'm his champion in a way.
And
he gave up the mantle of Kronos to
the
Jules Watcher.
who resides in the
Astral plane.
astral plane. I was going to say the abyssal sea. I'm like, nope. In the astral plane, and yes, has seen it fit to want me as their champion of sorts.
Yeah,
Kind
and
of
Aegeus is in bed
freaky.
with Nimue because he flicked her moon pedal.
I'm
What?
not sure I need to know what Aegeus does in bed, but mostly because there's quite clearly a boning pun in there that I don't want to stumble into.
Or sit on.
I spent years after years thinking I was going mad and didn't talk to anyone about the fact that the sea, the ocean, the great sea, spoke to me. It turns out, compared to you two, I'm just normal mad.
Yeah, I mean, if you told me the sea talked to you, I'd just take that in my stride. That is not a weird statement to say.
I'd ask for its name. Yeah, that's just what I do.
Good to know. And then just is like, huh?
Jury's taken a lot of solace in the fact that he's not the weirdest person he knows anymore.
In the room, yeah.
So I guess my next question then is, we know the strange busty vanishing lady, and
Mara.
you know what was the god of time, and you know what is the god of time, sort of.
Sort of.
Feels like we've maybe got more allies than I'd thought, but we also
We should
have,
have time on our side.
without wanting to hammer home the time theme, time on our side. Whilst the gods do whatever it is that they're doing that's not sorting this mess out and leaving it to us, what do we do?
I do want to ask, because I feel like the closer is a lead we haven't had before, and any intel we could get on how to manage the codex, control the codex, put it together, I think would be useful. Would you agree if I ask Primus?
I can't imagine it would be harmful to know that.
Yeah. I might just get a big fat nothing, but I can check. So I'll go meditate.
Would you like some quiet to meditate?
Yeah, if that's okay.
And so he looks at you and goes, it's early, you could probably go outside.
Oh, I was thinking you would... it's okay. I'll go into the corner of the furthest reaches of the room in the little window seat, and I'll get Cog out in front of me so he's sitting opposite me, and we'll do our little humming and whirls and clicks and Mechanus chant to try and human Primus.
So he's going to look at Joel and go, he doesn't take a hint, does he?
No, he doesn't.
Oh.
While all you can hear is dial-up noises. While me and
Amazing stuff. As Lex disappears into the corner of the room to do this, a piece of paper or a piece of parchment slides its way under the door and sort of positions itself perfectly under Suri's boot.
This had better not be your bar tab. Stan just picks it up.
In very elegant handwriting in common, in fact, no, in Elvish, we'll say, is written, Suri, your message has been sent. If you can find this location, you can have it. Mara, and there is a very rudimentary map of like stairs and cliff edges and a waterfall and some real estate.
This is, this is great news, but oh well, let's go and try and find it as soon as Lex is done.
I have time for another drink, yeah. Just as a reminder to everyone, Suri spent a really long time at sea with mercenaries. So whilst he is of what might be inferred, probably not insignificant lineage within the elven community in Nyland, he is also definitely of the what happens at port stays in port. That's where your downtime is. So whilst he's not rowdy, he's just a very steady. So he just lifts another of the tankards and goes, "Here's to waiting for Lex or whatever."
Jill will go
As
and
you
try
drink
and
this
find some bread and
lukewarm
cold
beer.
meat.
Go on. Amazing stuff. You walk out. Again, it is fucking carnage outside this room in the tavern. There are bodies everywhere. There is blood. There is vomit. There are weird other bodily fluids you're not sure about. There is a whole group of fully naked orcs, dwarves. There's an elf in there. There looks like there might be a human in there as well, and they have definitely suffered. There was a weird orgy. There was a weird orgy in here last night. Rurik is actually laid on the bar with a pillow under his neck on his back, and you can see a dagger held against his chest, and a little sign written in common very hastily on like a piece of chalkboard that just says, "If you steal from me, I will stab you." But you do notice there is under a strange glass cover another like a big large plate, and on the front it says Planar Detective Agency only, and there are meats and cheeses and bacon and sausage and mushrooms and a load of stuff. The breakfast has been served. You go and grab that and bring it back into the room, and as you bring it back into the room, Lex, describe to me how you reach out in this moment.
So,
All round.
Using Cog as kind of almost my meditative focus for this. Modron's got on the marches, which means they can happily go between planes, although Cog has never done so, he's told me. And me being attuned to the plane itself, I'm always going to use Cog as like a portal key to open a communication portal, as it were, to Mechanus and to Primus, hopefully, rather than a physical portal.
I've borrowed from a lot of franchises tonight, but let's borrow from a bit of Constantine, shall we? You hold Cog in your hands and just sort of smooth your fingers over the glass eye and stare deeply into it as the words and clicks and mechanical sounds from Cog go very still and the wings fold in on themselves. You lose yourself in that central eye. I am going to allow you to make a check of your choice, but I am setting the DC at 20.
I want to go for persuasion.
Okay.
So he's mainly because he's a person who doesn't like to be disturbed. He's busy mending or minding the great equation. It's almost as if I have to persuade him to come away from that and bother himself talking to me, even though I'm his champion. I always get the vibe that I'm disturbing him unnecessarily.
Amazing stuff. Roll persuasion then, please.
Oh, you gave me inspiration earlier because I'm brilliant. Right, okay. That was even worse. The best I could do is 19. Fuck.
Oh. With a 19, you reach through Cog into the hive mind that is the Modron army, the Modron force, the Modron collective, if you like. You hear a number of conflicting voices and overlapping messages, and then you reach that singular point that you're trying to converse with. And it's almost like you just get static before something in your mind tells you later.
I'll take myself out of the semi-trance I've put myself in. Come back into the room.
What's your passive perception, please?
Shit. It is 11.
11. Among those various voices, you try and catch a sentence, anything. The only word you manage to get is glass.
Helpful.
It's the rolls, I'm afraid.
That's what 11 gets you.
Still got something.
Yep.
Amazing stuff then, folks. What are we doing next?
Oh, everybody's gone. I'll go meet them downstairs then. I'll head off to find the rest of the gang.
Okay. I will say you find Jules, Suri, and Edius stretching, eating a bit of breakfast on one of the picnic benches or tables outside, if you like, where it smells considerably better. There's fewer bodies around here. You do see a suspicious white stain on the side of the building, which you're just going to ignore.
I mean, I'm never going to cast blacklight here. I can tell you that for free. But as I see the group tucking into the bacon and sausages, you know, I've never actually seen a pig in Union City. Where do they get the meat from?
Surely there's got to be farms on the outside.
Is it just like a...
For the first time, you all turn your attention down across the lower tier, and you look out beyond, and you see farmland amongst the plains.
Oh, good. I thought it was going to be like a Sweeney Todd situation.
Yeah.
It was something that
Rurik's just...
my time in the wilderness taught me is a city is like a heavy ball on cloth. It sits there, and the land around it feeds in. It displaces the world. It is...
Jules just thinking about a ball on
thing.
string.
Yeah.
Can't get past that bit.
That is a very astute description of it. I had not thought of it that way.
Just to kind of let everyone down over breakfast, my meditation was a fail. I didn't glean any information. I couldn't even get through.
I wouldn't say a complete failure. I've had 3 beers.
Steve or Suri?
All of the above.
No, Steve's passed 3 beers. It's mine.
Lex, we may have some digs. That's where we're going.
Awesome.
Some what?
It's what the youth refer to as a house.
Oh.
Slang.
I thought you said 3 dicks.
Oh, I've got 2. Two dicks.
I mean, between all of you, that's 3.
More than enough.
Eddie just looks down at his pelvic bone like, what can I do?
Oh.
I love how Suri said 3 dicks is enough and then give a little bit of a eye to Jewel like, huh?
Yeah. Now starting to understand the conversation the previous night a little more.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, yes,
Amazing
it's
stuff.
charisma.
Yeah, it's 9-inch charisma.
I'm not folding it in half.
Love it. Right, make me a fucking survival check to see if you can find this location.
Oh, I thought you meant survival check
It was
because
for
of
that.
the cock damage.
No. I'm trying to get this back on track, you fucking deviants.
Survival 14.
14?
17.
17?
13.
And Edgius?
Oh, yeah, I have advantage because he lives in Union City, right?
No.
Oh, it was worth a shot, though, wouldn't it?
That's good. I like that.
Yeah. Oh, fucking hell. He rolls a 4 on the dice. I just fucking closed his... Instead of clicking on his character sheet, I clicked on X like a twat and closed the tab.
That's fine.
That's all right.
He's not going to make it.
Fuck, he got a 7. No. No.
There you go. Suri, you are a well-travelled individual. Maps almost laid themselves down before you like lovers. You know exactly where you need to head based on this image, and you look up at the tiers beyond and you actually spot a singular waterfall not far from what you can only assume is the Black Veil Estate at the top of this city. It's towering sort of dark tower itself. You head in that direction. As you climb the stairs and weave through the city, anybody that has a passive perception above 18, which I think might only be Jewel, but let me know.
No, I'm 23.
Oh, Suri as well then.
So everyone apart from Lex.
Yeah. Lex and Edgius just fucking wander off, happy as pigs and shit.
Edgius has 21,
Jewel and
but
Suri
obviously he's not here.
Does he? Holy
Yeah.
shit. Okay, well, Lex, sorry, it's just you that don't fucking hear this then. Even though Edgius is always fun-loving, his ears, or lack of, are always still out. Between the three of you, you hear different comments being made by different people. At one point, you walk past a group of people. Fucking hell, thank you once again. My gods. Loopy Cat, we love you. Thank you so much. Yes, you hear one group of individuals where there's one particular halfling talking. Well, from what I heard, there was a whole city block where gravity just hiccuped for like a heartbeat, and then this single pulse, and then everything was normal. Of course, a lot of people fucking fell down. There's a lot of broken legs, but whoof, weird. Really weird.
Where did this happen?
Who the fuck are you?
Hi.
Do you usually just butt in on conversations?
Oh.
Hi.
Yes.
I'm much bigger than you and heavily armed. Where did this happen?
Make me an intimidation check, please.
We're not fucking about.
16.
16. Well, it's just what I heard from one of the neighbouring cities. Apparently somewhere in Kedmere and no harm meant, Mr. Elf, sir.
I didn't catch any of that, but fine.
Kedmere.
They all scurry away.
I always forget how
You
much I like
continue
the
further
halfling
up.
voice.
Yeah, I know. You continue on up, and you actually find a mixed group. There's a tiefling individual who is looking a little bit worse for wear, sat on a rickety stool. People are sort of crowding around them, sort of hands on shoulders. And you just hear, I barely made it out. Patrols have changed. Not larger, but smarter. Shorter response times. She's going to want to hear about it, but I need a minute.
Does he look
You
like he's
carry on.
in the like the garb of like the city, or is this like do?
They're wearing more travelling cloaks. and travelling clothes, but you do see clear wound on their arm, which looks like it's festering. Yeah, this individual does not look good. It looks like they have barely escaped with their life wherever they have come from.
Yeah, okay. All right.
You continue further up then. And a hushed conversation. For this, anybody that has a perception, passive perception above 22.
That is 22.
I think it's just Suri and Jewel at this point. What did you say Edgius's was? Sorry, Lex?
21.
21, yeah. So at this minute, just Suri and Jewel, and you only just catch it. But Jewel, you instantly see that these individuals are of a particular organisation that are meant to be banned from this city. There's a name surfaced again. Verfleur is what I heard. Some calling him the Herald. Always near the aftermath, though, never at the centre. Might want to keep our ears out for that one. Might pose a pretty bounty at some point.
Thinking it's probably not best to go up again to speak to these ones because don't know what. I don't know actually.
So, having heard that, and knowing that Jewel has got also fairly keen senses, Suri would look at her and just put his hand on the pommel of his sword with a kind of like...
You get the slightest, shake of the head, no. But you see steel determination in her eyes, but also, a lot of thought going into processing all of that. And then probably just will, as soon as they're far enough away, just whisper, they were talking about Callum. He's clearly, if we hear of anywhere that gets hit, he's likely afterwards, and I bet he's at Cadmere.
He has an organisation behind him.
Oh, not that organisation. They probably want the bounty on his head. That is pretty certain that is the Serpent's Cloak. More precisely, he is with the Shrouded Lord. That is the organisation.
Okay, I have heard of Serpent's Cloak, but good to know.
I kind of know the top guy in it, maybe.
I lean in very close again. Should we kill him?
Callum, yes. This guy.
No, this
No.
top guy.
No.
No. It would send a
What
message.
are we talking about?
feel like Lex's head just kind of like barges in between.
I've just been obliviously walking along and I realise everybody else has stopped. I'm like,
No, we've carried on. We've carried on walking because otherwise it looks suspicious. We're actually quite. But yeah. We'll fill you in. Once there's no one around us, we'll fill him in.
Amazing stuff. So yeah, you turn a corner and walk up a new set of stairs above sort of over the next little ridge of this mountainous terrain now to another plateau, separate from the rest. And you see this waterfall cascading down a small pool of water that then turns into a small stream that cascades further down the mountain and down the tiers out into the plains beyond. Embedded into the wall of the cliff face, you see the beginnings of a structure. not quite a castle, not quite a tower, but an amalgamation of forms. Potential. Something that with the right vision could be turned into a base of operations. The beginnings of the Planar Detective Agency HQ.
Oh boy.
As we are going to form a bastion. A number of weeks pass. We will say 2 weeks pass. As between the four of you, Takami, when she visits, you begin to employ workers to build up this bastion and begin to form more of a structure. A fence begins to be built up around. You begin to dig further into the cliff face and into the wall and start to forge out these rooms. There are magical individuals who actually come through and using something that looks like a disintegration ray of sort begin to craft out these grand rooms, form basements, and form the basic structure of the bastion that you will form. And we will discuss more of... Go on.
With Mara's help, Jewel will write some formal deeds just so that it helps with the ownership of the place.
Not even going to ask for a check for that. As a master forger, you manage to create those perfectly. The stamp of the Black Veils is placed upon them. And this is now yours. Now belongs to the Planar Detective Agency. We will discuss the details of that bastion as we begin our next session, as that is where we are going to close. Almost.
Come on.
Again, the camera pans across the continent of Enoeth towards the city of Rosendom. No longer bathed in the sunlight of Enoeth, but in the constant purple glow of a void rift. In and out of that rift weave shadow-like creatures. Tendrils of energy that reach down. What was once a city is now a ghost town. Every individual that was there and chose to stand against this force has either been removed, escaped, or has died. In the tallest tower of the castle and the main keep, in the middle of a stone platform with runes being etched onto it, an individual kneels in a violet robe, hooded robe. They lift the hood back to reveal a bleached white skull, a gemstone in one of the eyes. They stand, almost coming out of a meditative state, and turn to the corner where a white-haired female elf stands, clad in black druidic armor. And the Lich turns to the druid. It is time to build the armies, Leora. Go far, go wide. The end is near. And victory is ever closer. And that is where we end episode 106 of Campaign 2.
Oh boy.
Lots of lore drops, lots of information. apologies for the technical issue in the middle there. We will make sure everything is sorted, ready for the VOD. But thank you to all of the donations. Thank you to the gift subs. Thank you for everybody who's contributed to the chat. And a massive congratulations once again to Data for winning that Daggerheart core set last week. I am going to let my cast here go through one final thought each, or final statement, and then we will close. We're going to roll straight into more Magic Unrolled. You can catch that on Patreon on Friday. But yeah, that's all from me. Dave.
I'm very much looking forward to the Bastion. We've never done one before, and I'm very keen to see how it works. It's going to be good fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how it pans out, especially just to drop Steve in it. He's building a beautiful map for it, so I've said it out loud on the internet, Steve, now, so you got to make it happen.
Oh, Steve, can't hear you.
He can't even defend himself because he's on mute, so it's definitely nailed on happening now.
So my own mic has got a very useful touch mute button that also happens to sit quite close to my arm, which I will sort out before the next stream now that I figured out what it is that's happening. Yes, I'm looking forward to a long stint in Aruba with no internet, where I can't be held accountable for anything.
Amazing stuff, folks. Well, thank you all for tonight. Amazing session. A little bit of a come down from our chaos of last week. But yes, I hope you all enjoyed that. We will be back next week with more Campaign 2 goodness, which will be episode 107 as we continue to barrel towards our end game now. But until such time, stay safe. We love you all, and we'll see you next time.